Well, the moon hung low on a blacktop road just outside of dying town. Crickets sang through the tall dry grass and the sun had just gone down. But Levi sat in his car, no law broken, with a camera in his hand. Said he'd seen a lot of things out there folks wouldn't understand. Then the blue lights cut through the darkness like a knife through country air, and a badge stepped up to the driver's side with suspicion in his stare. He said, "Boy, step out and walk that line. You've been drinking here tonight." Levi said, "Sir, I'm stone cold sober, and this camera's got it right." There's a badge in the night and a light in the air, and a man in cuffs who swears it ain't fair. But the truth don't run and the truth don't hide when a badge's camera's rolling by your side. Yeah, the badge might shout and the badge might claim, but the lens remembers every name, and the truth walks free when the morning comes, though the night was long and cold and numb. Well, the cuffs snapped tight on Sobber wrist under flashing red and blue. "Stop resisting," the officer yelled, though Levi barely moved. Gravel crunched beneath their boots while the cruiser radio cried, and that little lens kept staring back like a witness none could bribe. Somewhere down that empty highway, headlights slowed to see just another roadside story in the land of the so-called free. There's a badge in the night and a light in the air, and a man in cuffs who swears it ain't fair. But the truth don't run and the truth don't hide when a badge's camera's rolling by your side. Yeah, the badge might shout and the badge might claim, but the lens remembers every name, and the truth walks free when the morning comes, though the night was long and cold and numb. But you can write a report in the courthouse file, you can swear your oath beneath the law, but there's one thing a man with a camera knows: the truth don't fade when the tape's still raw. There was a badge in the night and a light in the air, but the truth kept breathing right there, 'cause the world can see what the badge denied when a camera's rolling by your side. Yeah, the truth walks slow, but it walks real strong, and it don't stay buried for too long when the morning sun hits that roadside scene and the whole wide world sees what it means.
Small town sky and a camera rolling, laughing, the lens got a story unfolding. Levi tremble on the ground, he's building it slow. Truth in his voice, let the whole world know. Late night drive, just a regular ride. Radio low and his head held high. No buzz, no blur, just a clear-eyed stare. Didn't know blue lights were about to flare.
Red and blue in the rearview glass, heartbeat steady, but the moment passed. Step out the car, yeah, the words cut deep when you're wide awake, but they say you're asleep.
Blue lights flashing on a sober soul, hands in the air, but they lose control. Truth don't shake and it won't fold over. You can't arrest a man for being sober. Camera rolling, let the whole world see. Facts don't
up a broken scene.
Cold steel cuffs on innocent wrists, concrete truth in a fog of mist. Sir, I don't drink, yeah, he said it twice, but assumptions hit harder than loaded dice. Squad car door with a heavy slam, still calm voice, still steady hands. When the story flips and the footage plays, the truth burns bright through the darkest haze. Blue lights flashing on a sober soul, hands in the air but they lose control. Truth don't shake and it won't fold over. You can't arrest a man for being sober. Camera rolling, let the whole world see. Facts don't lie and the mind stays free. From the roadside stand to the courtroom floor, you can't lock up what you can't ignore. Upload the clip, let the timeline speak. Millions watching every frame each week. Comments rise like a tidal wave, calling out the lies they tried to pave. Justice ain't loud, but it's always near. It walks in truth, it don't walk in fear. And when the dust finally settles down, the badge feels heavy, the truth wears a crown.
Blue lights fading from a sober night. Truth stood tall in the morning light. No apology, can't rewind the closure, but you can't arrest a man for being sober.
So keep that lens on the world outside. Let integrity be your guide. From a small town street to a global view, stand up strong when they come for you. Yeah, the sirens scream, but they don't define a clear head, a camera, and a steady spine.
Well. Good day, good evening, good afternoon, or in some cases, good morning to some people, wherever you are around the world. Thank you for joining. Really do appreciate it. This is being broadcast over onto Mama's Bears channel, and it's really just to ensure that people watch Mama Bear as well. So if you are over there, make sure you hit the like, please. I will be opening up the panel later, but I just want to say that I came across this situation where Levi Turnbull, who has his own YouTube channel and stands up for people and reports on what's right and also what's wrong, actually got arrested for being cold stone sober. But he was arrested for driving under the influence. Now, I would like to say this only ever happens in America, but I doubt very much. But this has been going on for quite some time for Levi, and I got in touch and I asked him if I could use his content to do a song, and he said yes. So that was the song that I put together. Plus there's a little bit more on the end of it, but we're going to pick that up during this show because that really does not cover everything. So I'm going to play the full video, or as much of it as I can, and hopefully you'll see where I'm coming from. Now I've got in the back waiting to come up Eyes on the Audit, good old Mellows, and I'm just waiting for him to unmute. But whether or not he can hear me or not is another thing entirely. So yeah, he is there. Honestly. So let's hit this off. Okay. Hopefully we'll get it going shortly.
I'm going to blow on your actual test, and it will be completely sober, sir.
And it's all fun and games at the sheriff's office until the truth is finally revealed.
I'm going to blow straight zeros. Okay. I don't give a
So he's sitting here giving me his opinion on how everything should work.
This just says you have 0.00 alcohol in your system. So there's no alcohol in your system. That's all this machine was reading for was alcohol.
It's wild.
You think that I'm DUI right now? This is insane.
It's rude.
Just shut up and listen for a second. There's no one with substance to be under the influence from, all right?
It's wrongful.
Nice, officer.
It is the arrest of Levi Trumbull. All right, guys, what's happening? Levi Trumbull reporting here with my good friend Lauren. She is a big advocate for civil rights in West Virginia. And guys, let me tell you what, this video that we're dropping today, I could not be any more proud to bring to this audience. As you guys know, you have been seeing my illegal, unlawful March 29, 2025 DUI arrest conducted by the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. That has been spotlighted on so many YouTube channels all across the internet, TikTok, Facebook. It has just gone absolutely viral, and so much traffic has come to this channel from that video. You are going to witness that incident like you have never seen it before. You are going to see never before seen released footage that we have never brought you from the March 29th, 2025 unlawful DUI arrest. You are not going to want to miss a second of this video, and also make sure you stick around to the end because we have a big announcement to bring you at the end. So with that, guys, you're about to witness the incident itself. Then you're going to witness never before seen video footage that I took at the Frederick County Sheriff's Office the day afterwards. Then you're going to witness we actually had an incident at the towing yard. It was so unbelievable. It was so stressful at the time. You're going to see some never before seen footage from Vinny's Towing, the Frederick, Maryland towing company that took away my car. Then we're going to bring you some footage that we shot outside the courthouse after I was acquitted on the DUI charges and the unlawful traffic tickets. And then we're going to sort of wrap it all up with the interrogations that were conducted by the Frederick County Sheriff's Office onto Deputy Roush, the arresting officer in question. So guys, this video is going to be jam-packed. Lauren's going to help me break it all down. So with that, we're going to take you to the Tate's dealership back in March 29th, 2025 when I was unlawfully arrested. This is where it all starts and begins. Let's take you there now.
Deputy Roush, Frederick County.
Hey,
all the videos are recorded.
Yes, sir. How are you,
ran a red
officer?
light.
What?
You ran a red light.
I ran a red light? Is that why I'm being pulled over?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Which light are we talking about?
The one at Lowe's going north of 355. I'm not here to argue. I need driver's license registration, please.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Insurance. There's I know that's at least one of my registrations.
You can have this one back.
Oh, thank you. Is my license not in here? My license.
Apologies, because I'm playing it through StreamYards. It's decided to freeze up. Let's hope it doesn't cause too many problems.
I made an online purchase recently, so I guess when I took that out, I must have just not brought it back in here. But so I apologize for that. But everything on that registration card is active and current, as you can see. So yeah, I mean you have no you can run me. It's all good. Everything will be good.
You still live in Monrovia?
Yeah, that's everything is current. So everything on that is good. Yeah, everything will check out.
I didn't, but he's getting run through it. Just because I don't smell anything doesn't mean much.
Well, no, I mean, he's dressed like he was
Out,
somewhere.
yeah. And he straight up crushed that red light. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
the
no,
fuck?
There's no question about it. And took a minute to pull over.
And has been repeating every single thing I've
I heard
asked him.
that. It's like he's stalling to figure out what he's going to say. Constantly looking to the left and to the right. Very report, 21.
Officer. What's going on?
Over there.
Oh, hello, officer.
Hi, I'm gonna have you step out one field sobriety real quick. Make sure you're sober. Good to drive.
Well, I'm not going to perform my field sobriety, but I will step out of the vehicle. I don't have a problem with that.
Why won't you perform field sobriety?
Why would I? Why would I give you probable cause to take me in? Do you think I'm a
I already
DUI?
have probable cause to take
What's
you
a
in.
DUI?
What's a DUI?
Well, no, what is your probable cause to think that I'm under the influence of alcohol right
Driving
now?
behavior, speech patterns.
What about my speech patterns?
It's not something I'm going to get into right now. Do you want to perform field sobriety or no?
Well, no, why would I give you that? Because
Okay,
if
then
I do,
I'm going to take you to jail.
go right ahead.
Okay, turn put something back.
You think that I'm DUI right now? This is insanity.
Okay, so first of all, there's no reasonable suspicion that Levi is driving while under the influence, other than speech pattern and quote. He is sort of thinking what he's going to say next. And the original reason for the stop was because they claimed that he went through a red light. Sorry, a stop sign, I should say. Well, let's see what happens next.
I can't wait till you take me into Frederick County Sheriff's Office and you take me in, and then I blow on your.
I got one tonight.
I blow on your. I'm going to blow on your actual test, and it will be completely sober, sir.
I've won 1095.
Yeah, I'm 1095, right? I'm going to remain silent at this point, so thank you.
That's fine. So what's going to happen now is going to be read your advice of rights through the MVA, okay?
Thank you.
Do you have anything on your person to cut, stick, or poke me?
No, officer, I have nothing that's going to harm you.
Okay.
Stick you, poke you.
Open your mouth for me. Lift your tongue. Up. Yep. Okay. Any piercings, dip, or anything that I've missed?
I do not have piercings, and if you ask, do I chew tobacco?
Yeah.
No, sir. I do not chew tobacco.
Okay. This could have been real easy, man. If you had anything to drink, it would have been real easy. But you insist on going down this path, so that's fine.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a cell phone in there.
Oh, we're going to tow your car.
You're going to tow my car?
Yeah.
Okay. That's insane. Okay. I assume at some point there will be some sort of medical examination to determine whether I'm actually under the influence of any substances, and there won't be...
I didn't say get in, just stand there.
Okay, that's fine. And again, I just want to reiterate for the record, I am stone cold sober. I have not had anything to drink. I have not taken any drugs.
You're not giving me a chance to exercise that, so based on my observations, I'm going to take you in.
Well,
And if you want to blow zeros, that's fine. We're still within our right to tow your car.
I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Do this investigation, okay?
I hear what you're saying. I didn't believe, am I required by law to perform a field sobriety exercise? I didn't believe that I was.
It's called implied consent. It's on the bottom of your Maryland driver's license.
Okay.
I'm going to have you stand in the back while we do the paperwork up front. You just hang out right here. We're going to do the paperwork real quick. You want to grab your stuff out real quick?
Yeah.
I just think this is a shame tonight. This really is.
Okay, I've given you my opinion. You've given me yours.
I understand. I mean,
That's
you are
step in the car.
arresting an individual right now Who is not
Sit in the car.
DUI. Okay, I'm sitting in the car.
Based on the observations I made,
Okay, I
I
understand.
determine you might be under the influence. There's more than one substance.
Am I-
Just shut up and listen for a second. There's more
Okay.
than one substance to be under the influence from, all right?
I understand.
You're not
that
allowing me to
there's
do the test to either confirm or deny that you're under the influence of anything, so I have to go based on my observations. So
I
I place
understand
you under
that.
arrest for that. Even if you blow zeros, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Your refusal for the test gives me probable cause. Okay?
Listen,
All right, so-
I do hear what you're saying.
So you want to continue to argue it and tell me how smart you are, that's fine.
I'm not arguing with you, sir.
You are. You're going to argue every single thing that I've done.
I'm not arguing with you, sir. I'm just letting you know.
Hang tight on it.
Under Maryland Transportation Article 16-8128 or B, a federal law, or any other state's law. If you are operating a commercial motor vehicle and your test result indicates an alcohol concentration of 0.04 or more, or if you refuse to submit to a tester, commercial driver's license or privilege shall be disqualified for a period of 1 year for a first offense, 3 years for a first offense committed while transporting hazardous materials required to be placarded, and disqualified for life if your commercial driver's license has been previously disqualified for at least one. Herein or you have incurred 2 offenses of Maryland Transportation Article 16-8128 or B, a federal law, or any substantially similar offenses under any other state's law. If you are convicted of a drunk or drug driving offense under Maryland Transportation Article 21-902, and the judge or jury finds beyond a reasonable doubt that you knowingly refuse to take a test of breath arising out of the same circumstances, an additional criminal penalty of not more than $500 or imprisonment for not more than 2 months, or both, may be imposed under Maryland Transportation Article 21-902G. If you are convicted of a drunk or drug driving offense under Maryland Transportation Article 21-902B or C, and the judge or jury finds beyond a reasonable doubt that you knowingly refuse to take a test of breath arising out of the same circumstances, the court shall require you, under Maryland Transportation Article 21-902.3, to participate in the Ignition Interlock System program for 1 year pursuant to Maryland Transportation Article 16-4. 04.1. You may request an administrative hearing at any time within 30 days of the date of the order of suspension to show as why your driver's license or privilege should not be suspended. You must request a hearing within 10 days of the date of the order of suspension to ensure that your privilege to drive is not suspended prior to your hearing. Your request for a hearing must be made in writing. You may use the hearing request form if available. Send your request to the Office of Administrative Hearings at 11101 Gilroy Road, Hunt Valley, Maryland 21031-1301. You must include a check or money order for $150, which is the required filing fee, made payable to the Maryland State Treasurer. Your request for a hearing will be invalid if submitted without the required $150 filing fee or applicable fee waiver. Your driver's license or privilege will be suspended on the 46th day after the order of suspension if you do not request a hearing within 10 days of the date of the order of suspension, or, if eligible, you do not elect within 30 days of the order of suspension to participate in the Ignition Interlock System program. In order to receive credit for the suspension, you must surrender your driver's license or certify that you no longer have the license in your possession. If you submit a valid hearing request, a suspension will not be imposed unless a decision is rendered against you, or if you fail to appear for the hearing. Instead of requesting a hearing or upon the suspension or revocation of your driver's license, you may elect to participate in the Ignition Interlock System program if the following conditions are met. 1. Your driver's license is not currently suspended, revoked, canceled, or refused, and 2. Within 30 days of the date of this order of suspension, you elect in writing to participate in the Ignition Interlock System program for 1 year if your test resulted in an alcohol concentration of 0.15 or more, or you refused the test, or 6 months if your test resulted in an alcohol concentration of at least 0.08, but less than 0.15, and B. Surrender a valid Maryland driver's license or sign a statement certifying that the license is no longer in your possession. An ignition interlock election form is located on the reverse side of the driver's copy of the order of suspension. Certification: I, the undersigned police officer, certify under the penalties of perjury that I have advised the driver of the above stated rights and sanctions and have provided the driver with the aforementioned advice in English and Spanish. Read before signing. I, the undersigned driver, acknowledge that I have been read or I have read the above stated advice of rights as certified by the police officer. I understand that this requested test is in addition to any preliminary tests that were taken. Having been so advised, do you now agree to submit to a test?
You want to take a breath test?
Yes, officer, I would. And I just would like to state for the record, I believe my vehicle is still on and running if someone went out. I mean, I don't know, maybe they...
It's getting towed, so the tow driver's going to need the keys.
Well, the keys are in the ignition, so...
That's fine.
Yeah. But I just, like, I don't... It might still be running.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's patrol. Anything or even. Alright. Hop in the back, bud.
Yep. See you again.
You remember that stuff for me?
Yep.
Thanks.
Oh, you want that? So. 664, I believe 668 is going to be closer.
Okay, so he's now been arrested, put in the police car, and he's about to be transported over to the jail. Hang on a second, gone too far. This is where he lands at the jail, or close to. There we go. Got it right in a minute. So difficult doing this. Give me 2 seconds.
You're driving while not intoxicated. That's a new
Yeah. Totally sober. There we go. That's what I'm after. Right, so he's about to get booked in, Levi. Now, if you haven't been over to his channel yet, please do so. The link is in the description, and also directly for the original video as well. I'm going to be stopping and starting and going through it. I may move forward quite quickly because there's a lot of ongoing stuff, so I might just mute it while it plays in the background. But so to catch up, for those late in, Levi was stopped originally for going through a stop sign, allegedly, and then because of the way he was thinking of his answers before giving the answers to the questions, he was asked to perform a sobriety test. Now, these tests are designed for people to fail, even when you're sober. He refused point blank to do it, and as such, they arrested him and have decided best place to take him to is the jail. This gets a rather interesting.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you again.
Go on, Alex. You have what you step?
Yes, officer. Thank you.
Yeah, you need to be closed.
Welcome in.
Never seen that chair.
Yes, officer.
How's it going?
Not so bad. Just going through this DUI process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, officer. Is it right here? Okay. Here we go.
Maybe.
Are we doing this tonight or tomorrow?
Thinking about it. There we go. Alright, come on, Levi.
For my sake, I hope it's tonight. Stand up.
Yep, I need you to take a nice deep breath. You're gonna seal your mouth around the top of this mouthpiece and keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Understand that? Whenever you're ready. Come on over. Nice deep breath and keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Keep going, 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 keep going. Keep going, now you stop. Have a seat. When it's ready, we'll do that again.
Yes, officer.
Alright, come on again.
All right.
Alright, just like last time, whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Keep going, 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 keep going. Now you stop.
All right.
Have a seat.
There are 20 males outside.
We're going upstairs for DRE requests.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can see if like off of the he's on.
He is?
Is he on?
I thought he was on military.
Oh, maybe he isn't.
No, I'm not sure.
Who's got the Halsey?
I think Bo has her.
Oh. You better call upstairs then.
Yeah. I already know it's gonna read. Hey, are you guys able to do a DRE page? Are you guys able to do a DRE page?
A DRE? For the state? I don't know. Zeros.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome. Yeah, if you could notify them to do a DRE, that'd be awesome. Thank you very much. Apparently they are upstairs and coming down.
Oh,
That's the quickest I've ever heard a DRE in my life.
Usually their DRs aren't
It's days and days and days away. That's not normal. Don't get that in your head that that's normal. Normally it's an hour wait. How about you? Any copies of all this? Right now I need a signature from you acknowledging that you agreed to take a breath test and took one satisfactorily. What we have now is what's called a drug recognition expert on his way to check for any additional substances.
Well, come and take my blood and urine too. That'll be a better resource to be able to run it through it. Is that funny?
Yeah, because all you had to do is take field sobriety tests and said you want to act like this.
I don't want to act like anything, sir. I have to exercise my rights.
And
you know what I mean?
Most important thing there is exercising his rights, which the police don't
Usually like to read all of this before I sign it, but
that's
roughly.
what was read to you and placed in front of you in your lap. You're welcome to give it a read at your leisure.
Was this the audio that was played back in the car? The 7 minute and 42 seconds?
Yep,
I
and
think
placed
it was.
in your lap. Yep.
Placed in my lap. Okay. This was in my lap the whole time. It was dark, so I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Police cars
This
are
is the
not
same
like that.
document. Okay. Divisive. You have been stopped. You refuse to. No, I'm not. Well, I'm not refusing to submit to a
It
test.
says if you refuse to submit to a test. In the hypothetical situation.
Hypothetical. Okay, listen. I would love to spend more time reading this, but I will sign it. I don't want to.
When you're not obligated to sign it. If you want to read it, read it. I don't care.
This is the title says advice of rights, so I guess it's just notifying me of what my rights are. So.
As a Maryland driver's. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Which that title at the top certainly helps. Would you like this back, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. You're more than welcome. Need your pen. Thank you.
And have you signed this one quick?
And what is this one right here?
This just says you have 0.00 alcohol in your system. So there's no alcohol in your system. That's all this machine was reading for is alcohol.
I already knew that.
Alcohol.
Right.
We have to do that test.
I know, that's fine.
So sign the bottom for me. It says you're receiving your copy of that paper.
Okay, so defendant signature,
Yep.
that's me.
Yep, that's you.
Okay, thank you.
Common sense says, as he was arrested for suspicion of driving under the influence, he's just proven that he wasn't. Surely he should be allowed to go free.
Right. They make you blow twice so that they can get a valid,
Yeah, he's done that. That's why he's
right.
got the
And it came up
confirmation.
0. So now
Yeah.
he's gonna go get a guy that knows about drugs. Yet he's not a doctor, but he's gonna look at his eyes and all that, and they're gonna do a sobriety test. He doesn't have
No.
to take it.
No, he's refused to do a sobriety test. He doesn't want to didn't want to do it.
Yeah, that's the best
Which
thing
is
to
the
do.
reason
Not take
why.
it.
Yeah, this is the reason why the arresting officer said, if you'd have just taken the sobriety test, we wouldn't have been doing this. This is your fault, even though he's standing up for his rights. Strange.
It's just a retaliation. He's admitting to retaliating against him because of what he's doing. He's going to submit him to yet even more tests.
He went against his
It clearly establishing retaliation against his.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm not sure about this this particular state, but a lot of law enforcement officers over there carry now portable breathalyzers, which give them an indication. Now, it has been done before where they've blown 0 and they've still gone through all this because they thought they were under the influence of drugs. But now they want to do the drugs bit after this. Then maybe they will look at citing him for the so-called going through a stop sign.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say about blowing into that machine there, they actually calibrate the one at the station. Usually the ones that they carry don't always get calibrated, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, it's an indication.
Right.
So even if it's an indication that it's 0 on that, right? Unless they want to prove otherwise and they're being stupid,
Then-
which they have done in
Wouldn't
the
a good
past.
question? Wouldn't a good question be when was this machine calibrated?
Well, yeah, but he wasn't even given the option. He was told just
So,
got to go
wouldn't
into.
that be pertinent information to ask at that moment? You know, I mean,
Oh, do you
if
mean
he-
the one in the
people like this
what do you
machine
call
say,
it?
right? They say,
Yeah.
here's you got to blow into this machine. You say, okay,
Mhm.
you tell me when this, you're on body cam now, right?
Yeah.
When was this machine last calibrated? And then
Oh,
he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
know. If he says he doesn't know, right, is one thing. But if he knows and he says, oh, it was calibrated last week and it wasn't, right? I mean, yeah, sure.
That's something totally else. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
I
could be to you, can't they?
yeah. No, that I agree totally. DUI in the over in the States is drugs or alcohol. But he's so blind he wasn't under anything at all. But
This
let's see
guy,
what.
this is purely retaliation now. So he's not drunk. He's not under the influence. He's blown, and he's proved it. But yet they're gonna.
No. They've got to do both over there. They've got to do both. To
They're going to
prove
charge him
one way
more.
or the other. Yeah, if they're going to charge him. Yeah.
They
But
do charge.
he's blown negative for alcohol. So let's see what happens when he gets in front of the experts for the drugs.
Right. And this guy, he's like Steve. What's his name?
Yeah, you'll see. It's funny.
Dr. Strange.
Get your pen.
We're gonna bring him over here. Notice it's a little bit bigger room. We're gonna run your DRE test in the other room. You just put this in your pocket.
Okay.
Just grab your form. Oh, we're not crammed this kind of little room.
Understandable.
You ever see right there, alright?
This is my seat right here. Good evening, officer. How are you?
I'm Corporal Leonard, Maryland State Police. My ID is 6495, being recorded my body cam, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
It's my understanding that you've agreed to speak with me today.
I have not agreed to that. I was going to ask what's happening here right now, and what are my rights as it relates to what is happening in this room right now.
Well, no trouble whatsoever. I can explain that. It's totally fine. I'm what's called a drug recognition expert. Someone's highly trained to be able to tell impairment from things other than alcohol, drugs, controlled substances, medications, things like that. Before I do anything, I do have to read you your Miranda rights. But I can, before I go there, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them.
Yeah, so what's your background?
What's my background?
Yeah, your background. You said that you analyze people and you recognize to see whether they're under the influence of drugs specifically?
Yes, sir.
So what's your background that gives you the ability to be able to do something like that?
11 years patrol with the state, and then I took not one but two different classes with the state police in charge of DRE recognition.
Like a college background? Or no?
It's not a college course, no.
Not a college course. But you did take some sort of, is it through the state of Maryland?
Yes, it is.
State of Maryland program, okay.
Yeah.
And you got certifications in being able to do the kind of activity that we're doing here in this room right now?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, very cool. Very interesting.
Yeah, it actually is very interesting.
So, and you've been on the force. Are you state police?
Yes, sir.
State police,
So I'm not...
there is a Frederick Barrack.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess every county has one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, very cool.
I do have to read you your Miranda rights.
My Miranda rights, yes, sir.
Because what we're going to be talking about is going to dip into things that could potentially incriminate yourself. Give me 1 second. Should anything legal actually be going on. Not saying that anything is, but I do have to read you these rights, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write may be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to a lawyer before answering any questions and have a lawyer present at any time before or during questioning. If you now want the assistance of a lawyer but cannot afford to hire one, you will not be asked any more questions at this time, and you may request a court to appoint a lawyer for you without charge. If you agree to answer questions, you may stop at any time and request the assistance of a lawyer. No further questions will be asked of you. Do you understand these rights that I've read to you?
Yes, I do.
Do you agree to speak with me?
At this time, I am going to exercise my Miranda rights and also my Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution, and I'm going to assert that right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you very much, officer. Do you have anything else for me right now?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't want to do the DRE eval.
Well, I mean, I am going to actually, you read me those rights? Those are my rights, yes?
Yes, of course.
And I'm going to exercise them.
Okay.
as I'm sure that I was in respect or you would understand.
I'm not gonna ask you anything. I was under the impression that you wanted to do the DRE eval to prove that you weren't impaired. But
Well, actually, what I said to the officers earlier was they did and I said this to them on the scene. I said, if you would like to give me a breathalyzer, I'm more than willing to take your breathalyzer to see what would come up. And, you know, I know 0, so we did that. They brought me here and we did that. But I also said earlier that I would willfully submit to what's required, I believe, under the Maryland Transportation Articles, which is the requirement for blood, urine, or breath. So I've done one of those at this point. There are 2 outstanding. If they would like to go about effectuating that, I'd be more than willing.
here's the problem. Is it okay if I call you Levi? It is Levi, right?
You can call me Levi.
Mr. Levi, that's the problem is what we were working towards was the blood. And now that you've invoked Miranda, I can't get you there. So that's fine.
Okay, well, I'm going to invoke my rights.
Yeah, I mean, you already did, so it's
Yes.
kind of all done with anyway.
Okay, well, I'm
Because Miranda's been given. You heard that right.
Yeah.
You did hear it right.
Plonker.
letting you know. I don't know if that's, I mean, they breathalyzed me.
Yeah.
That wasn't a...
Yep, no trouble.
Okay, well, thank you, officer.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right, I'll take the phone. Oh, whoops. Thank you.
All right, I'm happy to
I understand that. I will follow your orders and comply with your wishes.
have him sit back and out the room.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Or you lead the way, officer.
Yeah, I'd prefer if you.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know where I'm going.
Right here. Right here.
Right here,
Yep.
right back to where I originally was in this
Yes,
nice
sir.
brown wooden chair that looks like it was constructed in about the 1960s or 70s.
It does indeed.
A lot of people have sat in this chair, that's for certain.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Just a few. Just a few.
You have somebody come pick you up?
Do I have somebody that could pick me up? That's, yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I don't, you're asking me that here and now. It's, what time is it approximately? Do you know?
Well, getting it right out here is going to be your problem. That's why I'm asking.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm saying if they were far, you can start making phone calls.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, I don't have much of a choice, so I guess the answer to that question will have to be yes.
All right, so I'm issuing tickets for the reason I stopped you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I understand that,
Get
officer.
you out of here, okay? All right, but first up.
All right, are you ready for me?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to take you upstairs to get out
Okay,
of here.
thank you. Good evening. Hey, have a good night, all right? Appreciate it. Let's see.
Their cars only a duty. You either come up here with proof of ownership of the vehicle to receive a tow slip to get the vehicle out of the lot, okay?
I need to come
Back here with proof of ownership of the vehicle
like a title.
or a registration or something like that.
Well, I have a registration. Like what the registration I handed you, is that sufficient?
It's in the car.
But like, is that sufficient? You said I need to come back here and present ownership of the vehicle. Is the registration sufficient?
Yeah, but you'll need
If I
your
come
license with it, but
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's
going to
on
get it if it's in the car.
I will get it.
You need another copy? Okay.
Listen, are you talking about my license?
You'll need your license as well. I will get that. Have proof
I
of
know
ownership.
exactly where my license is. My license is sitting right
Okay.
in my right on my desk.
All right, good luck, bud, all right?
Guys, that was the body cam footage. We were back here on Carroll Creek in Frederick, Maryland. And I wanted to ask you, Levi, what happened after you were released from police custody?
So after I was released from police custody, right after that, I had to get a ride home. I had to call a few people. Ultimately, a nice gentleman. He's now a Board of Education candidate by the name of Sam Rosenblum. He actually came and picked me up and took me to the hospital to make sure I was all good. I was not all good. But after that, after I was discharged from the hospital, I had to go get my vehicle. They had given me like a little bit of paperwork that they said, you need to bring it back to the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. You need to give it to the clerk. She'll sign over some documents and you will be able to go to Vinny's Towing and you'll be able to pick your car up with this document documentation that we give you.
What time was that, by the way?
So I can't, the time actually escapes me, but here's what I will say. Sam took me to the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. It was early in the morning. It was after I was discharged from a hospital in Frederick. We took the paperwork to the clerk at the Frederick County Sheriff's Office, and she was like, "You're too early. We can't give you the paperwork to get your car yet." And I was like, "What?" So we had more stalling. So guys, here is the actual footage that I took that morning. This has never been released before, but we are going to release it now, and we'll meet you at the back end. All right, you ready?
So before we get to the next bit, we have obviously a situation here where there's a total miscommunication of information, potentially, and also more lies. I mean, he wasn't charged with driving under the influence. I can say that for definite. Well, let's see what happens when he goes to get his car.
Yeah. All right, good deal. Is there a way you can... Hey, good morning. I got illegally arrested last night for DUI, but right now that's neither here nor there. I have these documentation right here. I need to pick up the paperwork so that I can take it to Vinny's. Evidently, they told me I needed to come back here. They didn't give me the paperwork last night. They said come back in the morning or whenever, pick up the paperwork, and then I need to take it to Vinny's. So that was what they told me.
One second.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, so you have the timestamp of 2150.
Okay.
So that's 1150.
Yeah.
1050. So unfortunately, we do have to wait a full 12 hours before I can do anything.
It's been 12 hours.
It's only 9:20.
Wait a minute, 12? What's 21 hours?
21 is 9.
9.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so you still do have to wait 30 more minutes.
So wait here for 30 minutes?
Yeah, and then I can proceed.
Okay. I mean, that's an interesting procedure.
Well, it's 12 hours.
Okay. I mean, listen,
What's it say, 950?
950?
I'm under strict orders from
Yeah.
the sergeant, so it's 12 hours.
I guess we have to chill for a half hour, yeah. Thank you for that.
What is the purpose?
Appreciate
What is
it.
the purpose of waiting?
So if you could sign both copies on the X.
Yeah.
I believe it's administration of 12 hours for all paperwork to be passed over for release of the car. It's sporting techniques.
Also, probably if you're drunk and they release you, they want to make sure you're not drunk picking your car up. Maybe that's why they do that. I have no idea.
Or maybe it's a minimum charge for holding your truck.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get charged.
Yeah, so I mean, if it's a minimum of 12 hours, you'll get charged.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
No, what is this? What am I signing here?
So this is the tow slip that the tow company will needs to in order to release your car.
The tow slip. Okay, hold a minute, Frederick County. Where do I sign here at the bottom where it says signature?
The green X.
Okay, got it. Okay. Do I need to sign both copies or what? Okay. Hold a minute. All right, there you are.
All right, here you go. The tow company is right there.
Okay, is the address on here?
It's not. I suggest calling them first so you can.
Wait. Is this 777 number?
Yes.
But there's no address on here?
No.
It says Route 355 Grove Road. Oh, that's where it's from. Okay. Okay. And another thing I was going to ask you is all my items are in that. Is there a fee? Do I have to pay them a fee?
That's for the tow company.
For the tow company, yeah. But my question is do I have to pay them a fee?
You'll have to ask them.
Oh, okay. Because that would be, but you don't know. Okay, because that would be real interesting to get arrested for DUI, come here, blow a 0.00, be arrested for that unlawfully, and then turn around and pay to have a vehicle taken out of storage when it shouldn't have been there in the first place. So I guess we'll see. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Levi, it seems like you had to jump through a lot of hoops here. And the next clip we're about to see is Levi's vehicle after it was released from the impound yard.
Guys, this is absolutely unbelievable. So I got my vehicle out of the impound yard. I had to pay almost $400 for this release. And then, by the way, I had to wait all day, like late into Sunday evening to get this vehicle back. I got the paperwork. I had to call Vinny's Towing. The guy had an attitude like you wouldn't believe it. He didn't want to work on Sunday, give me my car back. But I had to wait so many hours to even get the vehicle back. Pay $400. I was so mentally exhausted. And then I finally get the car back. And I go inside, and what do I see? My car is like dirtier than I had left it. The mats are all disheveled.
Oh, wow.
It's absolutely insane. So I took a video of that, and I'm going to share that with you guys right now. Should I knock on the door? Oh, wait a minute, right here. Right here, they have a doorbell.
Hey, Sean, we're trying to get his car back. We're at Vinny's Towing. They're not answering the door. The website says they're open.
Are they like not open or something? I just talked to the guy. He said he wouldn't be there, but... Hey, Sean, are they like not open on Sunday or something?
They're open. You just got to go and bang on doors and make,
I rang the doorbell 3 times. It says, go to the window for assistance. We're standing at the window. We rang the doorbell 3 times. No one's coming to the door.
Yep.
Well, what do I do?
You need to have Sam take your phone and take a video of how you're trying to get your car back the next day after being...
Yeah, I am. We're videotaping it right now. It's ridiculous. I'm sitting here. I had to go to the sheriff's office earlier in the day. They said that they can't release the form within, they need to wait 12 hours to even be released the form. We have all that on tape. So we had to sit around for a half an hour and wait for me to even get the form. And now I'm here at Vinny's and I can't even...
And if they arrested him with no obvious cause and then let him go, why didn't they facilitate getting his car back? Instead, they just made it more difficult.
Yeah, this is going to be a horrible story.
Sean, I was arrested the moment after I said I was not going to do field sobriety, he arrested me. It'll be a short body cam. It's not going to be long.
It's retaliation.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it's bad.
So you're
missing the point. The body camera of them searching the vehicle, talking shit to each other about you is what's going to be most important.
Whatever that Maryland State Police said to they had a whole different attitude when that Maryland State Police officer took him in the back room, Sean. That Maryland State Police officer, the moment I walked through that door, he knew I was sober. And I didn't answer one of his questions either. I said, I'm not talking to you at all, buddy. He knew I was sober. And he took him in the back room and said something to him, and they got me the hell out of there after that. I was arrested for a crime, but I was not charged with a crime.
DUI. There was no cause for that, so they were trying to find a reason by overreaching what they were supposed to do by searching your vehicle to find something.
And let me tell you what, that Roucher, I haven't slept in I'm on my 25th awake hour. And I'm just I'm flipped out. So I need to go sleep. The doctor said when they initially checked me in, they did all my vitals. They said my heart rate and blood pressure was through the roof. Think about that. My heart rate and blood pressure are never through the roof. They said it was through the roof.
You probably were having a heart attack.
I probably was. Yeah.
Knock on the door. Knock on the door like a crazy person.
Why is Vinny's not answering?
You need to do a video about how you.
Are you still filming? Are you still filming?
I'm filming. We're filming, and your audio is on my phone, which is in his video.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. It doesn't matter. But this is crazy. This is crazy. No one's even picking up the door at Vinny's. I'm standing here with the documents trying to pick up my car, and no one's even.
Can you call their phone number?
Yeah.
Call on your phone, Sam. Call on your phone. I'll talk to you guys later.
I'll call you. We'll call you.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll call you in a minute.
So this has been a very intense experience for Levi up until this point, but it really has not stopped here, and honestly, it's only getting worse. Now we are digging into the court aspect of things.
Guys, this is where things absolutely get crazy. So at this point, I've been unlawfully arrested. I've had my night ruined. I've had my subsequent day ruined. I've been to the hospital. I've had to pay a lot of money to get my vehicle out of impound. I've had to deal with the tow company. I am exhausted, but my headache and my heartache, whatever you want to call it, is not over, because I still have a court date for 2 bogus traffic citations. Now, we're going to play you the video just in one moment of the outcome of that court case, but as you will remember, I was facing 2 traffic citations. Number 1 for allegedly running a red light, never happened, and then secondly for not presenting my identification upon demand.
Right.
That one sort of just speaks for itself. We won't get into that too much. But as you will remember, and as we talked about, the Deputy Roush, in this case, did not appear at the Frederick County, Maryland District Court to fight me on those tickets. And because that didn't happen, by way of that, the case was totally dismissed. And we later actually learned that he was ordered on 2 separate occasions to show up, but he was a no-show. So guys, with that, we shot a video outside of the courthouse when all that was unfolding the day of, and we are going to bring that to you right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Porter. I'm here today with Levi Trumbull. We are at the Frederick County Courthouse. The reason for our broadcast, the reason for this video, the reason why we are here
is breaking news, right?
Well, yes, it's breaking news. To some, everyone in the courtroom got a preview of exactly what's going on and what we're going to talk about. Essentially, what happened here is young Levi Trumbull went to court. He went to court for tickets that he got as part of that March 29th DUI arrest, where he blew 0.000 and was arrested for no reason, had his car impounded. But today was his big day to face the charge of unable to present his driver's license upon demand and running a red light.
What happened in court today?
Well, let me put it to you this way. My man walks up, the judge is like, "Where the deputy at?" And then, no deputy, no case. He walks out of there.
Yeah, guys, he just said it right there. Long story short, I was found not guilty. Both tickets were dismissed today due to the fact that Deputy Roush, my arresting officer, did not appear in court to testify. It was very quick. I walked up to the defendant's table. I said who I was for the record. Deputy Roush was nowhere in the court. It was a very packed court, plenty of deputies there, but no Deputy Roush. And immediately, I didn't have to say anything else. Judge Terry Myers knew the ordeal. He dismissed the tickets automatically, and they are in the process of being, I guess, the paperwork right now to dismiss those things, getting them off my record. I will not be paying any fines, and I always asserted that I never did anything anyway. But even if he didn't, even if he wasn't a no-show today, I was ready to take him on.
Now, Levi, can you tell us exactly what was going on with these citations that caused us to take this to trial.
So yes, as he just mentioned, on March 29th, after the DUI arrest, the one where I blew 0.00, Deputy Roush, he had nothing to charge me for. There was no evidence of alcohol. There was no evidence of drug use. So at that point, when I was on my way out of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office, he handed me a citation charging me with running a red light and for not displaying my driver's license. So there was a lot of things that I wanted to say about this matter for a long time. If you will notice, the last time Sean did a story and he interviewed me, I did not get into the depths of the fact that I was charged with 2 traffic citations. And the reason I didn't want to do it is I wanted to save my statements for court. And one of the things that was unbelievable when you talk about the fact that he issued me 2 citations along with the false DUI arrest was the fact that the time on the traffic citations was incorrect. The traffic stop occurred at roughly 9:40 p.m. On the traffic citations, Deputy Roush listed 11:02 p.m. That seems to be a violation time that he made up out of thin air, and it was the incorrect time. So we were going to dispute that today. But that's not even the kicker, Sean. The big kicker was that Deputy Roush wrote the wrong location, do not forget this, the wrong violation location for my traffic citation. So he claimed on my ticket that I ran the red light at the 355 Grove Road intersection. However, when he pulled me over on the scene, he indicated that I ran the light at Lowe's Lane instead. And he wrote the Lowe's Lane intersection on the police incident report as well. So there was some unbelievable inconsistencies that I was going to point out today. But beyond that, Sean, as you know, I have always asserted I never ran any red light, period, and that the whole stop was unlawful. A lot of people are asking about, was there dash cam footage? Well, I requested it. I put in a preservation notice for it, and I did not receive it. So if you want to talk about spoliation of evidence, there was that too. But guys, Deputy Roush, after he conducted a false DUI arrest on me, he wrote me 2 traffic citations with an incorrect time and an incorrect location, and that was all going to be brought out today. We had plenty of exhibits and plenty of notes, plenty of questions, some wonderful questions that we were going to ask Deputy Roush today.
It was a pleasure to be here today. Judge Terry Myers always runs a good courtroom. He was fair. He was making a lot of jokes. It was a pleasant experience for all the people that went before him. He was harsh when he needed to be. He was lenient when he needed to be. And then it came to the matter of Levi Trumbull. Levi Trumbull was called. Levi ran up so quick, I swear his shoes almost caught on fire. He had his little clipboard. He had all sorts of papers. He had 20 pages or so of notes. He had all the evidence it would take to prove that this Deputy Roush had lied on his citations. Levi, can you tell us more about what lies were contained in those ridiculous citations?
The light at Lowe's Lane, which is the one that he verbally said at the time of the stop, that one is located in 21703. The Grove Road intersection, the one he listed, is located in 21704. They're roughly 7/10 of a mile away from each.
What's up now, Roush?
So, hold these right here. Actually, hold one second. This is exhibit number 5. This is a photograph of the light at Grove Road. This is apparently the one that he wrote on the citation, but this is contradictory to the one that he verbalized. So I was going to ask him today, is this the red light that I ran? And he would have had to either say yes or no. He would have been screwed either way. That's a picture of the light at Grove Road. I never was on Grove Road that night. And actually, and hopefully you can see it, and we'll put them up on screen if you can't, but I pulled over, like I said earlier, at the Tate dealership, and the Tate dealership is before Grove Road. So as you can see, this is where the vehicle stopped right here, and this is the Grove Road light that's ahead of the Tate dealership. So I never made it to Grove Road that night, and that would have come up. And then we also had a nice photograph map that shows that the location between Lowe's Lane and Grove Road is roughly 0.6 of a mile away. So he would have had some hard explanations planning to do on that. And then we also had a copy of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office incident report where he writes, this is his words, that Levi Trumbull approached the solid red light at Lowe's Lane, slowed down, and then proceeded through the light. Well, that says Lowe's Lane. I understand that that's his writing, but he wrote Grove Road on the ticket, and he got the wrong time as well. Sean, how do you think he would have fared today had he showed up and fought this case?
Well, I think that Terry Myers would have been very polite and delicate because Terry Myers is just a great man. But he would have handed ridiculous Roush, or wrong zip code Roush if you prefer, his literal ass on a platter for what he did to this innocent young man here. It's shocking that this took place in Frederick County, especially since we have such a great sheriff, Sheriff Chuck Jenkins, a man who I am supporting in the primary.
Yeah, Sheriff Chuck Jenkins, a good man, done a lot for the county. Obviously, he's our 5-term elected sheriff. All right, guys, and with that, that is today's breaking news. I have been wanting to speak about this situation for some time now. There was a lot of discussion online about, oh, but he ran the red light, he did this, he did that. No, I did not. But guys, on the grand scheme of things, this is about standing up for what is right. This is about ensuring that this does not happen again to others in the future. That is my main objective. What happened to me on March 29th, you hear stories about this all the time. I never want to see it happen to anyone, regardless of where they live. All over the country, things like this happen, and they should not happen. And today, obviously, we had a very favorable outcome, but that does not happen for a lot of people. A lot of people are innocent, and they just get ran through the system, and we see this all too often. So with that, guys, like I said, today's breaking news, both tickets have been dismissed. Deputy Christian Roush was a no-show in court today.
That was insane. The fact that he's pushing.
So that's it. The long and the short of it, really. He was sober. He didn't go through a red light. He did actually present his driving license, etc. But the copper decided not to show in court because he obviously realised he had made a lot of mistakes. And also made mistakes on the paperwork as well, which is rather strange. Now, I know Ariel's nipped off for a minute or two, and unless Mellows is falling asleep. I hope you enjoyed that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basically they did this to a person who had a platform, right? This happens every fucking day, right? And people get thrown away and no one gets to hear about it. This is every day, right? A lot of people's lives get ruined every day because of people like that. Police officers like that. This idiot is still employed and still taking, benefit from the taxpayer, and still hasn't learned a thing, and he's going to go out there and do it again and again and again and again and again. It's because the people above him specially hand-picked people like him. The reason why people like that exist is so that those who are in control can continue to be in control, right? Criminals hire criminals in order for them to continue their criminal enterprise. But when you employ good officers, officers who know the law, officers who enforce the law, right, and not feelings, officers with critical and logical thinking, then we've got a problem, right? Because those that hire them are all corrupt and criminal, right? So when they employ good officers, their ass is on the line. So they're not going to employ good officers. They're going to continue to employ corrupt pieces of shit like that. And that's just the way it goes.
Yep, I agree. Strictly cycling. It's okay. I'm not talking about New York. We're talking about a particular situation in a county of Maryland uh, where Levi Trumbull was arrested, even though he was perfectly sober. And when he went through to see the drug specialist, there was no point in asking any questions because he was obviously not under the influence of drugs either. I mean, so they hit him with 2 bogus charges, which were in relation to a traffic light violation going through on red, and not producing his ID, even though it had to be produced for him to get all the information about him in the first place. So yeah, this is to do with driving offences. And the point that this raised for me is the fact that there are so many bad cops out there. And, you know, it's as simple as that, you know, at the end of the day, you know.
This just so happened to happen to someone with a platform. This happens every day by the droves. Thousands of people every day get their lives destroyed by people like this.
Yeah.
Every day.
Look, the thing is, he still had to go to court, and also the fact that the situation was, and I agree totally with Mama Bear, the cop lied all the way around. It's as simple as that, you know. You may believe that strictly that most cops are bad. Any cop that doesn't turn in a bad cop is bad by default. And as that tends to happen majority of the times, I would probably say 98% of
the very definition of a bad officer is one that stands idly by and does nothing.
Yeah,
that is the worst kind, right? The worst kind of officer you could have is one that will just stand idly by and do nothing when he's witnessing crimes in front of his eyes. That is the worst kind of person that you can have.
There was at least 4 police officers around there, you know. And Mama Bear, you're right, taxpayers paid the price, because until such time as a levy goes on a police officer's wage, or, you know, their houses, etc., and they have to pay the price themselves, they're going to continue doing this. There is, I think there's a couple of states now which actually do that, and they've turned around and said that 25% of any payment issued by the taxpayer has to be paid by the offending officer.
My fear is that it's going to get even worse because it's left unchecked, you know?
Yeah. As I say, that's, you know, it's interesting factual situation. At the moment, our wonderful government is trying to get rid of jury trials because of the backlog in jury trials.
Do you have that video of what's his name, David Lammy?
Well, let me finish what I'm saying, and then bring that in, please. So basically, they want to get rid of jury trials. They want to increase what a magistrate can give, which is, instead of up to 12 months, up to 24 months, with no right of appeal. And also, if it's for sentencing to 3 years and a single judge and 2 magistrates, or potentially a single judge, again, no right of appeal. Now, the reason why there's a backlog is not the way that it's put across, because defenders are using the system, and it's creating the backlog. No, there's not enough judges, there's not enough lawyers, and there's not enough legal aid available to people for the lower crimes. And the way that, as you were talking about Lammy earlier, who is the idiot in charge of making these changes over here in the government, he refers to things that people are guilty till innocent, because he refers to people as offenders, not defenders. And he says if an offender has not paid for a bottle of scotch, then why should that go to a jury? Well, it's their legal right. So how long do you think it's going to be before this sort of garbage ends up over in the States and your rights are taken away from you? So to me, this is okay. He's got a massive platform. Levi has. He doesn't need a no-nonsense sort of very small platform like the network, right? Which is why I say we are the network. It's not one person, it's all of us, right? But if we don't stand up for our rights, we don't pass this information out to people so that others understand and over in the States, what your law enforcement is doing and what your judiciary system is doing, never mind anything else, how the hell are you going to protect yourselves? You're supposed to have this wonderful written constitution that cannot be changed. No government may infringe. But the coppers are doing everything they can do to infringe it. And this just highlights the fact that it is going on constantly, and the more that people talk about it, the better. Because then maybe, you never know, a couple of coppers might actually realize, we are culpable by letting them do this. They need to be stopped. They need to be charged. And I'm stopping the video there because what happens after this, right, is something you need to go and watch yourselves. Because I've got to be honest with you, it still continues and his fight continues. But there is a good point at the end, good outcome. Sorry, guys, Melos, regarding, I didn't mean to put you off totally there. Is that Lammy you were referring to, wasn't it? He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's the one that wants to scrap the jury trials. I'm looking for an interview he had where he was talking an absolute load of gobwobble. Right? But, I think they took it down because he kind of contradicted himself. Made him look like a tit, basically.
Give me a second. David Lammy is the Secretary of Justice over here. Yeah, he's certainly not a.
Well, I put a link in the bag. Did you see it?
Yeah. Don't know whether this will work for me because I've been having problems with sharing stuff from YouTube.
Okay.
I'll do what I can. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's not going to work for me. Sorry.
Okay.
Just going round and round in circles. I'll put it in the chats. Give me a second. And then people can go and have a look at it themselves.
So basically, we're becoming a police state. More and more each day, they're stripping away our fundamental human rights, granting themselves powers, immunities, liabilities, indemnifications, and all while putting the cost and the burden all on us. They want to spy on us and control what we do and how we spend our money, but at the same time, they want to keep their shit secret, their crimes, miss them, and they want to they want to dilute their heinous crimes into just you know just little misdemeanors. I mean,
Yep.
look at the Prince Andrew, right? Formerly known as Prince Purple Rain motherfucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him, he goes and rapes little children, sorry, right? On an island somewhere, right, with his pal. And then he's brought up on charges of giving away secrets. No, we're not talking about, what he did to the little kids. We just glossed over that, right? We just, he sold some secrets, right? And then, there was someone else who did that as well, We got to throw him under the bus, right? But nothing's going to happen to these people. Nothing will happen to these people.
Yeah.
Right?
Strictly, you're right. Cops do police themselves. They always will do, always have done. This is my which side of the Atlantic you're on, by the way.
Meanwhile, you get a little bit heated and you say something stupid on the internet and the fucking FBI are kicking through your door, right? That's how stupid this shit is.
Yep. None of it makes any sense to me.
If they can make you believe in absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities. This is a proven fact. They've done this to us. They've made us so fucked up in the head, so demented, so mentally disturbed, right? That we're all at each other's throat. We all believe in some nonsense because the whole world is just filled with fake shit narratives, right? Nobody is talking and arguing about anything that's real, right? And then all of a sudden, one flick of a switch, everyone's doing some crazy shit, 1940 style, right?
I think that everything's getting worse. It's not getting better. And I'm going to carry on bringing things across for discussion, if nothing else, to highlight what's going on around the world, or in Great Britain, over in the States, it's easier to get hold of information than it is anywhere else. But these things are continuing and they are getting worse. As Mama Bear said, up to date in 2022, $24.5 billion was paid out as a result of misconduct. But that's paid by the taxpayer, not by the offenders. The offenders in this case would be the police officers. Hey, Mux, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in, mate. You've missed most of the show. Where have you been? Busy, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I just wanted to. Levi Trumble's case is one of thousands, if not tens of thousands, and that causes a major issue. Okay, I've got that one now. Ariel's put it in, so let's try and play this.
Hold on 1 second, sorry. It's just my alarm. Alrighty, 1 second.
Investment is not enough. The caseload is projected to reach 100,000 by 2028, and without fundamental change could keep rising, meaning justice will be denied to more victims and trust in the system will collapse. Mr. Speaker, to avoid that disaster, I will follow Sir Brian's bold blueprint for change. First, I will create new swift courts within the Crown Court with a judge alone deciding verdicts in triable either way cases with a likely sentence of 3 years or less, as Sir Brian recommends. Sir Brian estimates that they will deliver justice at least 20% faster than jury trials. And whilst jury deliberations remain confidential, Judges provide reasoning for their verdicts in open court, so this will hardwire transparency into our new approach. Sir Brian also proposes restricting defendants' right to elect for jury trials, a practice not found widely in other common law jurisdictions. And let's be honest, it's a peculiar way to run a public service. Our world-leading judges should hear the most serious cases, and I agree that they and the magistrate should decide where a case is heard. This will prevent defendants from gaming the system, choosing whichever court they think gives the best chance of success and drawing out the process, hoping victims give up. And I will limit appeals from the magistrates' court so that they are only allowed on points of law to prevent justice being delayed further. Alongside these changes, we will increase magistrates' court sentencing powers to 18 months, so they can take a greater proportion of lower level offending and relieve pressure on the Crown Court. I would also take power to extend that to 2 years, should it become necessary to leave further pressure. And when it comes to exceptionally technical and lengthy fraud and financial trials, judges will be able to sit without a jury where appropriate. While these cases are small in number, they place undue pressures on jurors to sit for months, a significant interference with their personal and professional lives. These reforms are bold, Mr. Speaker, but they're necessary.
2 reasons why it won't work over in the States.
They're necessary.
Hang on. 2 reasons why it won't work over in the States. All right. One is that you have the right under the Constitution to a speedy trial and also to be judged by your peers. Over here, we did have those 2 rights, but now our wonderful government is using the excuse that people are working the system. Not as much as the judges are working the system, right? Not as much as the government is working the system, right? But all these people who are waiting for trial and wanting to have to be judged by a jury. Oh no. But what they haven't told you in that little clip is the right of appeal will be removed unless it's on law. At the moment, if you are found guilty by a magistrate, you have the right to appeal that to a judge in Crown Court. It is a rehearing. Automatically, there is no jury, but you can bring witnesses back to give testimony and cross-examine. However, they want to remove that right because of the backlog. That's it.
The one that they created.
Yes, over years, over decades.
Yeah, it's a classic Hegelian dialectic, right? Create the problem. You wait for the reaction of the public, and then you provide them a solution, a pre-planned, premeditated solution. Here we go, off the shelf, ready to go. Right? Sound familiar?
Oh, God, yes. Yes.
You know, like a bunch of sheep, everyone's going to say, yeah, we don't need no jury, pesky juries. I mean, fucking everyone in the whole country is a criminal now, so where are they going to find these jurors of our peers in the first place?
Yeah, to keep up with what the legal aspects are over here in the UK, please go to the Black Belt Barrister. He does not give any legal advice. He just tells you as it is. And he will also give his opinion on what he would do in certain aspects of the letters and emails that have been sent to him. However, one of the things which he has pointed out is that the majority of lawyers, solicitors, including magistrates, don't want this to happen, or judges, they don't. So the whole legal system are against it because it's not fair. to have a fair. You're not being given a fair trial. And if you're accused of theft of a bottle of whiskey, bourbon, vodka, anything like that, it could be a genuine mistake where you returned something to the store and they've told you, just take it off the shelf, you'll be fine, it's not a problem. But then some security guard sees you taking it off the shelf and walking out, but the person who told you has gone on lunch or they finished for the day. You have a right to go to trial, but not under this. You won't be allowed to.
Here's another one for you.
If you think that this isn't, if this gets through here, it won't affect other democratic countries that have a similar judiciary system that we have at this current moment in time. What's the betting? If it's they can get away with it here, they'll get away with it elsewhere. That's my take on it. So be very wary.
I put another link in the back.
Yeah, give me a second. Got it.
I don't know what we'd do without you, sir, at the moment. My internet is really bad. I thought I was going to have more problems than I did with sharing the video.
Well, if I had my old computer going, we wouldn't be sharing nothing either.
Can I just say, Paulin, I do appreciate sarcasm. Good gosh, you are a bunch of criminals over there. Well, when you've got our illustrious leaders turning around and saying that you're an offender, even before you've had a case, you know. Okay, you ready?
Yes. Yeah, before you start that, I was just going to say that, now, imagine this, we've got the best lawyers in the world, right? And this is the most biggest subject that we have ever come across for them to tackle, right? And we literally depend on these lawyers, these big fucking brains to defend our constitutional rights, you know, like, because it's their rights as well as ours, right? So we're literally, you know, got this room full of fucking idiots now, where they're going to question this idiot David Lammy, right? Now you check out. I watched this yesterday. We'll check out the softball questions, right, from these most, you know, clever lawyers on the fucking planet, right? Apparently.
Okay.
Single judge, and that is the balance of judgment that I have taken.
But a pause there because I know a number of colleagues want to come in, so I'll start with Neil.
Thanks very much, Chair. Lord Chancellor, I'd like to come back to the issue of the evidence base for curtailing jury trials. Are you able to confirm whether the government currently holds empirical data demonstrating that restricting the right to trial by jury will materially reduce the backlog?
Yes, of course we do.
Okay. If that data exists, will you not only publish it, but ensure that it includes all the assumptions associated with it, all the modelling, and all the sensitivity analysis?
As you know, ministers have a range of data available to them. That data is being updated, it's being validated. Sir Brian himself relied on some of that data, which will inform our data. And as I've said, we will publish the impact assessments alongside the bill. And I will seek to help the committee as it seeks to scrutinise that as we get to that stage in the spring.
At the risk of repeating the question, you've said you'll publish the impact assessment, but will you include within that all of the assumptions, all of the modelling, and all the sensitivity analysis?
I will include, of course, the assumptions that sit behind where we've got that enables Parliament to properly scrutinise and helps people understand why the government has arrived at the position it has.
Noticed you're reluctant to use the word all. Will you produce all the analysis?
I will do what I deem appropriate for the purposes of this bill passing and to ensure parliamentary scrutiny. I've been in Parliament 25 years. I've seen a number of impact assessments, both economic and equalities. Equalities is particularly important in this area, as is the economic data that we believe will drive down the figures. And of course, that will be available to the committee.
You will be aware that both the Bar Council and...
Do you want me to pause it?
I was going to say he's been in Parliament for 25 years. This is time to fucking go, man.
Yeah, these guys, they can't be living in these places. The same thing over here. We got to get new people in there. Yeah.
Yeah, just before you carry on, Muxter, yeah, technically speaking, we are innocent until proven guilty. The way this is going to be done is that you're guilty till you prove yourself innocent. However, you won't have the right for to speak to a jury because it'll be non-existent, and you won't have the right to appeal unless it's on law. And as
Judge,
they're writing the law, and as they're writing the law, and they can send you down for up to 3 years for stealing a packet of biscuits, ask if you did, because how do you prove you didn't if you can't get the witnesses?
You have no due process. They violated the right to due process.
Oh, by the way, this is all goes against the Human Rights Act, which I don't think it's actually been looked at just yet, but it is. Okay, cheers.
The Criminal Bar Association have concerns about this specific proposal. They have requested the data. Is there a reason that data has not been shared with them at this stage, given that they are such critical stakeholders?
Well, we will continue to work with the Bar Council in the usual way, as you would expect.
Do you accept their position, which is that Sir Brian, whilst it's a worthy piece of work, his recommendations have neither been piloted nor have they been modelled thoroughly? Do you accept that position that the Bar Council and the CBA have taken, or do you think they're wrong?
Brian, we asked Brian to do a very serious piece of work. He was supported by a panel. Some of that work involved modelling in other common law jurisdictions, which were comparable in terms of the changes that were made. You will know also that the department publishes a lot of data. This is the department that publishes a lot of data. Recent court and prison protections were published on the 4th of December. And as I've said, I totally understand that in order to get any legislation through, it's important that Parliament is able to do the proper scrutiny. And so I want to make sure that those impact statements are sound and are thorough, and that parliamentarians are able to do their work both in this place and the other place.
There are currently in the region of 17,500 prisoners on remand in this country. Will these reforms apply retrospectively? Okay. You've also acknowledged that the proposals will not make a difference to the existing backlog in the short term. Given that that is the case, can you explain to victims, to witnesses, to defendants who are currently awaiting trial, often years in the future, why you're not looking at measures that will affect the backlog in a more expedient manner?
No, that's a misunderstanding. What I've said is that legislation takes time, and so the proposals that we have accepted that we're making in relation to Sir Brian's recommendations will, of course, can only come into effect at royal assent. But we are getting on with investing in sitting days. That is happening now, and I've increased those sitting days. When the Lord Chancellor was here last year, we're talking at 106 sitting days. I'm able, record funding now, 111,250 sitting days, over 5,000 more than the previous government funded. So sitting days are up, the investment is up. Investing in court maintenance is essential and is happening. Modernisation is key. And part of that modernisation will emanate from Brian's part 2, which we can get on with from the spring of next year. So that will be happening.
Sir Brian's report actually envisaged trials taking place with a jury and magistrates, not judges sitting, a judge and magistrates, not judges sitting alone. How does the government reconcile that distinction with the current proposals that are being put forward?
I think Brian recognised that we might come to a different judgment. And the judgment I came to was we are giving our magistrates more power in the magistrates' court in terms of their sentencing up to 18 months, but they could go to, or the government has the power to take that to 24. I'm recruiting more magistrates at this time. And therefore, on reflecting other systems, particularly the system in Canada, I settled on the single judge.
Does it not mean that the evidence base which Sir Brian has reached was based upon his hypothesis of a judge and magistrates and not on a judge sitting alone, and therefore to extrapolate that would be a false result?
That's why the honourable member rightly expects the modelling and the impact assessment in relation to the bill that we've actually come forward with, and that will be available to the committee.
That opens the question that modelling hasn't been done to date, and therefore this is a proposal that is...
It opens the question that, as I said, that the government is doing that modelling. Some of that modelling is based on where we end up with sitting days and the concordat with the Lady Chief Justice. That will be available at the point at which we publish a bill in the spring. But I will seek to do what I can in relation to this committee before that, if I can. That's the undertaking I've given.
But it is a case that the modelling is not complete at this stage, and therefore it's based on assumptions that...
The modelling is ongoing.
Do you accept that even if Sir Brian's analysis is correct and that it will lead to a 20% reduction in trial length, that would only apply to a fraction, about 3% of trials in total?
Yes.
The other issue, of course, since you've touched upon, Lord Chancellor, is the presence of advocates and having enough people going into the criminal bar. Now, we know that junior barristers don't go into the criminal bar because it pays well. They go into it because they have a passion for criminal law. Now, part of that, of course, is the thrill, if I can put it that way, of being a jury advocate. By removing those opportunities, are you concerned that that will reduce the number of individuals who will choose to go to the criminal bar when they could have a much more profitable career, perhaps in the chancery or other areas of law?
Well, it's precisely because I'm worried about the pattern and what we're seeing with the criminal bar and indeed with criminal solicitors that I've made the investment that I have in those match-funded mini pupilages, so that we see the next generation of criminal barristers coming through. That's hugely important over this next time. And so obviously there has been some attention on changes to jury trial, but I don't think we should lose the significant investment that we're making in legal aid, the uplift in fees, and the mini pupillage scheme, match-funded scheme, to ensure that we have that next generation of lawyers coming through. I think part of your question is also, is there some disincentive almost to become a criminal barrister? Just to emphasise that trials are running longer, trials are more complex. There will be a significant number of jury trials and indeed patterns in terms of more serious cases would suggest that there will still be a lot of jury trials. So there will be quite enough work to go around.
Has your department undertaken any analysis of the impact that changes to the jury system will have on retention, particularly at the junior end of the bar?
Sorry?
Has your department done any analysis as to the impact of the proposed changes to jury trial on the retention of the junior end of the bar?
Both the analysis that the Criminal Bar Association has done, the Bar Council has done, and the department has done on workforce informs the decisions that we've been made about mini pupilages, precisely to deal with some of the retention issues. And I should just say that following our reforms, it's still the case that around 3/4 of trials in the Crown Court will continue to be heard by a jury.
That's a slightly different answer. That's about the wider retention issue of the criminal bar. I'm asking specifically about your proposed changes to jury trials. Have you done any analysis on that?
And as I've indicated, of course we've done analysis. That is why we are putting money from taxpayers into a match-funded system to increase the number of junior barristers. Of course, what sits behind that is analysis and trends that we're seeing in the criminal bar.
Grateful, Chair.
I'm going to be Vicky Slay, but just...
What a load of rollicks.
So they stacked the place with a bunch of fucking hypocrite sold out motherfuckers, right? that gave him a whole bunch of lowball questions. When, come on, I don't know law or anything, but I would have fucking grilled him a lot better than that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, my question is, why does the government think that they should take away the right of a defendant to opt for a jury trial, right? When, if they need to, they just need to make more Crown Court dates available instead of it being booked 2 years ahead for a trial. In the meantime, the defendant is sat on remand. The potential victims, and I say potential because until someone is convicted, there are no victims from a legal point of view.
Remember,
Right?
this is a temporary measure to deal with the.
No. There's no such thing as a temporary measure.
Exactly. The minute they make it, they don't go back on it.
And the fact that they've turned around, I mean, okay, the last time this was reviewed was it back in 1980, I think, off the top of my head, when they extended the magistrates' allowance, if you like, from sending people to prison for 6 months to 12 months. And that was on the basis that there was a backlog in jury trials. Some 26 years later or so, they're still saying the same thing. It's the government of the day that has caused this problem by not putting the funding into the criminal justice system in order to be able to move this forward. And what they actually did was they removed the rights for legal aid and narrowed it down so that you can't, if you're certain types of crimes, you cannot get legal aid for. And if you opt to go to jury, you have to employ the barrister yourself or represent yourself. None of what the government is suggesting makes any sort of sense to me. But there again, we are talking about my fine Führer Keir Starmer, who thinks that he can do anything he wants because he used to be in the Crown Prosecution Service. Want of a better expression. Well, I didn't really want to get into too much on this side because I think this is something which is we're going to have to look at again. But the wording on TikTok that he used was offenders. Didn't say defenders. It was offenders, which to me means now that we have to be in a position more formally of you are guilty till you prove yourself innocent, but in order to stop you from proving yourself innocent, we're going to remove the right of jury trial from you. If we haven't got full enough prisons as it is, you know, I mean, even if they somebody is convicted, even though they're innocent, right? But they can't appeal it because they're not allowed to the next judge up, if you like, or next court up from magistrates, which would be Crown. It just means that they are actively taking rights away from us. And for argument's sake, if they didn't like the hurty words that you say on social media, you're guilty of that until, well, we're just going to rub a stamp and either throw you in prison or we're going to give you a suspended sentence for up to 3 years. And that means if you get into trouble for anything during that period, it's of a criminal nature, you will end up inside. And they'll probably end up putting massive fines on people as well they can't afford to pay back. Now, I have heard there's a theory going round that if you have nothing to hide, you will go along with this. If you don't want your rights, you will go along with this.
So,
If you're a moron, you will go along with this.
Same thing, isn't it?
What if you, and this happens to a lot of people, they give them a court date, then another court date. Say it takes 2 years before they see you, and now you have 3-4 cases. How many years they're gonna put you away for? Lifetime?
Technically, they would hear all of them on one day if they're interlinked, or if they can interlink them, or one case, I should say. But the idea is that you go into a court for 5 minutes or so, and then a rubber stamp is introduced, and you're found guilty. One of the things which they are talking about and they're putting into place is non-representation, so you can't even represent yourself. You don't appear in court. You send a statement in after you to a magistrate who looks through it and decides whether you're guilty or not guilty based on your statement.
And if you don't,
Bear
if
in
you
mind,
don't know law, you're screwed because you don't know what to write down.
well, not only that, but can you imagine if you are dyslexic?
Yeah.
So we're talking
Right.
about AI lawyers now. We're going to be relying on AI lawyers.
Well, no, this is no. Well, technically, yeah, because you're going to use chat GPT.
You're going to use people are going to use whatever they got at their disposal.
Yes. And don't forget, AI is run by those who have the power, not those who don't. So it's always going to be twisted towards whatever they're programmed in anyway.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to be allowed access to AI while you're in jail.
No, I'm talking. The idea is that you won't be remanded. It'd be like you get nicked on a Friday, you're held in custody till Monday, and you get your case on Monday. It's to do with quick turnover. This is all it's about. In the long run, this sort of thing will reduce the number of jury trials, and therefore it will reduce the number of cases going to Crown Court.
Well, I mean, they could just make it even faster and just like guilty. Everyone's guilty. Anybody that gets arrested is guilty, and just throw them in jail. I mean, what's the point of spending even more money? Just
Again, I will agree. I will hold my hand up and I will say I have to agree
about
with
saving
you.
money and saving time. Just you know what I mean. Just throw them in jail. Any bastard that the police pick up from the street, they go straight to jail. No trial, no fucking hearing. No one wants to hear shit, mate. Just shut the fuck up.
In other words, it actually becomes a monopoly game, except that there's no get out of jail.
Judge Dredd, right? Remember Judge Dredd?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Judge Dredd, that'll
He
do.
sentenced you right there on the spot, man.
Yeah.
You've been sentenced to fucking death, you cunt. You parked in the wrong place.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know where it's like. I mean, I presume it's similar over in the States where you've got a shortage of space in prisons, right? For low due to the
brain cells in leadership.
Well, no, due to low-level crime. People have been found guilty of low-level crime. They go to jail, right? I would say that this is, very similar. And we don't have the space to put people inside jails, inside prisons. There's not enough room.
They could open up
And
one of those hotels. They could open up one of the hotels and lock them in there.
Well,
you got the migrants.
They've got the migrants there.
Well,
they're already guilty because they're illegal. Yeah,
No,
but
but
you see,
they're
they're
compliant.
already guilty.
Yeah, but they're compliant. They have to keep up their ass if you tell them to.
Okay, so the fallen said they're in jail after they get arrested. It's about getting them out. Well, when you're held in a police cell rather than a jail, yeah. But if it's a serious crime, you're held on remand and there's no bail set,
Right.
no bail condition set. because we don't have bail bonds. Well, I'll watch this space, folks. It could be something that comes in the future. You know,
no bail bonds over there. Okay, interesting.
yeah, we don't have a bail bond system. Believe it or not, you have when you're released, if you don't go to remand, to a remand cell in a prison, you are given bail conditions by the police, and if you breach them, then you appear in court automatically because you breached the bail conditions that have been issued to you. So that could be as simple as a curfew, and tags put on you. So in other words, you're under house arrest between certain hours. Or that's for the more serious ones, depending on how the magistrate feels or how the booking clerk is in the police station. But I've always believed that you are innocent until proven guilty, and you have the right to be judged by 12 members of the public, of your peers, right? Should you so wish to elect to go to trial. However, that is now being attacked, those basic rights, and that is the biggest problem that I see. And I honestly feel that our wonderful government, obviously there's a touch of sarcasm there, are doing their best to erode whatever rights they can do, and as quickly as possible from the people.
That's what traitors do, right?
Yeah. Well, traitors to the people.
They infiltrate the government, outside interest.
Well, yeah, and also don't forget that this government in the UK, in Britain, was elected by 30% of total voters that were eligible to vote. So 70% didn't vote.
Come on, let's be honest. This government was selected by APAC.
Yeah, but they went through the alleged democratic process.
So if that passes, does that count for you too, Grim, where you're at, or?
Yep.
So it's everywhere? Okay.
Yep.
Basically, it's one vote per person if you bother to turn up and vote, and the first one past the post with the majority, whether that be a 1 or 1,000 or whatever, gets through. And that's on local elections and also general elections when you vote for the party of your flavour. And then out of the people, the number of MPs that are elected, that becomes the parliamentary party. And then usually the leader of the party becomes the prime minister, because they've been elected by the party to become the leader of, in this case, the Labour Party or the Conservative Party. There are a couple of other parties which have been that are in the news these days, but most of them are now aiming at the centre vote, sort of toning down their policies in order to be attractive to the majority. But if I'm honest, all that's doing is dividing the vote even more. Because unless you get a system where you have to vote, and it becomes illegal not to vote, then you're never going to get everybody voting at the polling stations every 4 years or so. But then you'd have to have a box for none of the above, because if you don't fancy one of the candidates, you've got to be able to vote for none of them if you're being forced to vote. But democracy isn't about being
Very
forced.
democratic, is it? When you're being forced
Exactly.
to vote. You're going to vote for a democratic elected government, but if you don't vote for us, we're going to shoot in the head.
Yeah. I know there is a fine if you don't register to vote, if you're caught out. But that's okay. They've got to find you first. So how can they find you if you don't register?
People are
That's
ridiculous.
That's another story.
Ridiculous. The absurdities that they will conjure up in their little wizardry, little parliamentary house, right? Their little Harry Potter house. These people are drunk on power. That's what they are. They're insane, narcissists, drunk on power. And they need the fucking detox, right? Because shit, it ain't doing none of us any good. We're sleepwalking into World War III with these knobheads in control, right? Millions of people will die because of these fucking idiots.
Well, don't forget we are fighting different wars in different locations, and next thing is going to be, I think, over here, national conscription to replace the people who, the fighters who have been forced into these ridiculous situations because our government says so. But we're not at war.
No.
Officially.
We're on a peacekeeping mission, right?
Isn't that what Trump says,
Peacekeeping mission, so we have to attack first.
Oil prices have now skyrocketed, and the FTSE 100 index, whatever it is, nosedived for the first time in God knows how many years. And wasn't it President Trump who turned around and said this short-term increase in charges for oil will only be short-lived, but it's worth it to make sure that there are no nuclear weapons in Iran. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why they had to blow up a little school, a little girls' school, right?
Yeah, probably 85 girls there, right? Something like that. 65.
Oh, it was over 180 from the last figures that I mean, it's just different numbers from everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
I don't really want to get into the politics of that, really, but
apparently
I will
the reason
say
why they struck the school was because the one or several of the Ayatollah's wives worked there.
Right. There's
Possibly
a justification for it, folks.
Yeah, possibly some of his children. So this is the peacekeeping mission, right? We're going to go and
yes, it's called collateral damage.
Operation Dickheads.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on a second. Let me just read this out. America is at war with Iran, but from what I'm hearing today, this war will be over soon. It's a war America cannot win. Who's declared war on Iran?
I don't know, but Donald Trump did say it about at 6:30. I got a little thing there somewhere in Florida, wherever he was at. He was saying that this war will be over soon. He's calling it a war, so.
Yeah, he's calling it a war, but he haven't declared war. What he's doing is he's saying we want to eradicate nuclear weapons in that area from people we don't like. It reminds me of weapons of destruction, where the British and the Americans went in only a few years or so ago and found none. There was no evidence to start off with, but it was enough to bring people together under the auspices of the flag that they're under so that they could win the next election. It's all political crap.
Yeah, a
Excuse
lot
my
of it
French.
is.
People unite when they think that their country is at war.
Exactly.
Well, which isn't the case.
It's
You
a
know,
it's a playbook. They go by the little playbook, and they're moving their cards right now because they
Well, I mean,
want to
you
direct
guys
it
still
in a
talking
certain way.
about Epstein?
Yeah, when there's a war, you stop talking about that, right?
Oops. Yeah.
No time to talk about that if you're at war.
The thing is, what I find amusing is that when you turn around and you say something like, the price of crude oil is now at $150 per barrel, right? For argument's sake. I don't know what it was, but I know it was something fairly close to that. The price goes on to what goes on the pump. But don't forget, there's a knock-on effect because all of the deliveries are done through road. Majority of there is some rail haulage, but it's still transferred from A to B to the shops by road. Right? It's not as if a fucking train pulls up and unloads. Right? But the cost of that is passed on to the consumer. So the consumer has to pay for it. So it's not just what goes on the price at the pump for your fuel. You look at people who rely on oil for their heating. Over here in the UK, it has doubled overnight, that cost, as a result of what's going on in Iran. However, the argument that the politicians put out is, it's only short term, because guess what? As soon as the war's over with, or this conflict, or whatever label we put on it, the price will go down again. No, it doesn't. Not straight away, because the oil companies want to get their money back because of how much they've lost as a result, because people are not buying what we want them to buy. So I think we're always going to be in a catch-22 as a consumer. We have 2 aircraft carriers and they're component, but don't you think America is at war with Iran? Well, war hasn't been declared. So this is on the orders of the president. And since when has the president been allowed to declare war? It'd be like our prime minister declaring war. It can't. If America pulls out now, it'll look weak. Well, you're weak anyway. Look who you got in charge. Right now,
They don't have a big enough army to go fight them hand to hand. That would be a big mistake if they were to do that. We don't have enough soldiers.
No, and don't forget, you've got the Chinese that also are looking at this, and you've got
There's other
Russia.
people that will get involved in it.
So the days of America coming across as being the toughest country in the West, it's gone. Now you just look as if you are, or you've got this media coverage which says that you are, and there's a lot of people who will believe it. At one time, Great Britain ruled the world, certainly ruled the seas. Hasn't done for centuries. The last war we fought was the same war that you fought over, as the United States, which was the Second World War.
Right.
Since then, America has not declared war. Even the Vietnam War wasn't a war. It was an invasion. It wasn't declared through the correct legal process for it to be a war. when we went against the Argentinians under Margaret Thatcher, it was a conflict. It couldn't be called a war. The last time you went into the Gulf with the Allies, it was deemed by the press as being a war, but it wasn't. We are still the most powerful military in the West, but probably not the entire war. Right, okay. You're still arguing over the fact that it doesn't matter whether it's war or not war. At the end of the day, I see it as the West poking the noses into something that doesn't even, they need to. They're only worried about the oil, and that's the only reason why they've gone there. Let's face it. Who controls the oil in that region controls that region from an economic point of view.
When the price of the oil goes up, Donald Trump makes lots of money. His pals make lots of money. When they blow shit up and they use lots of bombs, and his pals, they got companies that they own that make these bombs for the country, right? For the government. So all of those people making lots of fucking money. Lots and lots and lots and lots. And guess who's paying for it? Because the government don't have any money, because when they spend money and they say we're gonna invest fucking 2 trillion on this and 500 billion on that, it's your money they're spending, right? Because they ain't got no fucking money. In fact, they're going to be sticking their hands in that little pocket that they just created and shoving as much of that money into their personal pockets as they can while they can, right? Because that's how they get fucking filthy rich. Because they're all corrupt, dirty, lying sacks of fucking shit that need hanging off a fucking bridge.
Oh, I just want to make one thing perfectly clear. I'm not against war. All right? In any way, shape, or form. All right? I am against stupid conflicts. And there's a difference. I'm old enough and wise enough to have seen a lot of these conflicts. And my opinion is we're not at war. No one's at war.
And there's
Not
always
yet.
conflict. There's always something.
Anyway, here comes Brooklyn's stroke Strictly.
Hey, how you
Hello,
doing? So you don't think we're at war, huh?
I
don't think so,
you're not
huh?
at war. I'll tell you you're not at war. I don't think you're not. That's the fact.
We're not.
Just because the president says that you are at war does not
When
mean
you
that
say-
you are at war.
When you say we, you're talking about the UK. We
All
are
right.
at war with Iran.
Oh, sorry. Who says you're at war?
Did
with Iran?
Congress declare it?
No, but does Trump
There you
listen to
go.
Congress?
There you-
Does Trump listen to Congress?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. To make it war, it has to be declared.
Why don't
by
you tell the
Congress.
7 Americans who were killed over there so far if we're at war or not? Why don't you
7?
ask them? Ask their families.
That's all part of what they do, man. That's
Ask
just,
the Iranian people if they think they're at war or not.
That's right. Ask them.
it's not a war.
They're not at war. They're defending
And my
their
neighbor's
nation.
street is
Call it whatever you want to call it, mate. Bombs are falling out of the sky and people are dying, right? For fucking no other reason, just so that fat fucking ugly bastards can get even richer than they already are. And that's the cold-hearted truth, right?
That's right.
And that's right.
No, that is right.
It is right.
Correct. That's
We got
correct.
2 aircraft carriers over there and their accompaniment, and we're bombing thousands of 3,000 rockets and bombs we dropped on them. But we're not at war. You got to be kidding me.
War?
And who's supplying the bombs?
They turned fucking
Who's
Israel
paying for the
into a
bombs?
car park, and we're not at war.
We are fighting Israel's war against Iran right now.
Right.
So why? Why are you sticking your nose in? It's got nothing to do with this. It's to do with Israel.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all whatsoever.
There you go.
When we were at war with Iraq and Afghanistan for 20 years, how many Israeli IDF soldiers did Israel send to fight alongside of us? I know the UK did and many other countries in Europe did, but how many did the IDF send?
None. No fucking
That's right.
one.
That's right. None. Not even
Yeah, they
one.
don't care. They don't care about us. They don't care
I've
about
got
you
a
or me.
question for you. How many weapons of mass destruction did you find in Iraq?
None.
Oh,
But the
none.
weapons of mass destruction that we were supposedly looking for, we gave to Iraq to Saddam
you go.
Hussein when he was fighting against Iran in the 80s.
Right.
The only weapons of mass destruction in Iraq were the ones that we dropped.
And those weapons of mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction, the United States gave to Iraq, were deployed on the Iranian troops on the battlefield. They were mainly chemical weapons.
The point I'm trying to make is, as I said, whatever's going on, I don't understand. And please, somebody explain to me the justification for bombing innocent people, children.
There is none. There is no justification.
When
Well, let me
war
tell you
has
something
not
right
been.
now. If
Please
America,
please let me finish. You know the rules. One person at a time. You know what I'm talking.
It's a heated discussion, man. You know, people got passions.
Right?
You know?
I don't understand why that if you call children collateral damage, mothers collateral damage, fathers collateral damage on both sides, right? Why there is justification when you deliberately miss areas in order to create this illusion that you are at war when all you're doing is using weapons which have to be rebought and resupplied by the warmongers.
well, I want to go back to this if I could for a second. This whole thing that you don't think we're at war with Iran. I want to ask you, how would you feel if America or any nation for that matter had two aircraft carriers and their accompaniment and had hit you with 3,000 or so rockets and bombs? Would you consider that country was at war with you?
No.
No, they just played, man.
No, they just, what is it, a fireworks display?
No, it's an invasion.
It's not an invasion. We didn't put boots on the ground. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
And they're all going to be. They're not going to. There's no one going to survive.
If you look at history, every single time you bombard a land with missiles, etc., right? That is the start of an invasion, right?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is Israel at war with Iran?
They're at war with whoever they feel that they need
They're
to
at
be
war with
war
anyone. They're allegedly
They're
at war
with Iran. They're at war with themselves.
They do as they please, man, and no one says shit.
Right now, they're doing another land grab in Lebanon because they do
There
have
you go.
IDF forces on
There
the
you
ground.
go. How much
It's
more
the
do they
Great
want?
Israel plan.
There we go.
Grim Reaper, how many?
Hang on, good question by Muxter. Is Russia involved in this conflict?
Yes, it is, and I'll tell you how. Russia and China are both giving Iran intelligence on American positions.
Does that mean that they're at war because they're
No.
providing that information?
No, but they're providing them assistance.
It's called a proxy war.
It's all proxy.
But it's a war nonetheless.
It's not a war. It's about the oil rights. That's why Dubai is being bombed.
People dropping bombs.
It's not. It's about, in part for Trump, it's about the Epstein files and deflecting from those files. In part. I'm not sure if you're aware, but one of Trump's, he keeps changing every day why we're there. One of the reasons that he gave was for a regime change. This Khomeini's son has now been announced as the new supreme leader of Iran. He has accomplished nothing. And another thing, I wanted to ask you, how many people are in Iran, Grim Reaper?
No idea, but they're getting less every day.
I'll tell you if you want to learn. 93 million people, and they're the 17th largest country in the world.
By population?
Yes, by land mass.
Oh, right, okay. So
The
they're smaller
largest
than America.
population in the Middle East is the country of Egypt, and they have 120 million people. I'm very well versed on this subject, Grim Reaper. Very well.
You might be, but you still talk bullshit. Your justification for all of this is America needs to be great.
No, I'm against this. 100%.
Well, that's not the way you're coming across.
That's the way you're perceiving it, but you're not listening to me. Open your ears and listen to what I'm telling you, and you would understand that I'm against this.
Okay, bye. Sit in the background for a minute and calm down. Right.
He didn't come across as if he was pro the war at all. Not to me.
Oh, he's disappeared now. Must have took offence. He didn't come across as being pro-war. He came across as saying that they're at war.
Yeah, they are at war.
And, well, I'll agree to disagree.
What do you want to call it? The definition of war, Grim.
Yeah, it's
Mockster,
not war. It's a
Mockster, I always argue semantics. If you're referring to me.
It is every sense of the meaning of war.
And Russia is providing intelligence to
yeah, and they are in the war by proxy.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind that is exactly what's going on right now. But what's his name? Whatever his name was, he was right.
New Jersey, or not New Jersey.
No, that was strict. That was. It comes up with different things. Okay, you will not dictate to me, nor will you control me. You understand in capitals. I didn't dictate to you. I said I'd put you in the back to cool off for a minute, because all you do is just shout over everybody. You don't know what a conversation is.
Yeah, and if he shouts to you, you're not going to understand him because your hearing aids is not going to pick that up.
Apart from the fact that when you start shouting, you actually lose the discussion or the argument or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
And we're not at war with one another here.
No. The point is, all I'm saying is that, and I'll say it again. It is a distraction as to so that you're looking outward, not inward. And that's what it's all about. And as I was trying to put across, for every single bomb that's been dropped over in Iran, for every bomb that's been dropped by the Iranians in Dubai, right? This conflict is about oil rights as to who owns them, who provides the oil, who makes the money. That's what it's about. And the West don't want to give that up to anybody, right? And I think the biggest threat to the West is a combination of China and Russia. Now that is the biggest threat, but no country at the moment wants to declare war. So what they do is they invent conflicts so that they can get people behind activism, right? So that they start going, yes, we are in support of this. You won't find many that will talk against, at the end of the day, because it's going against being patriotic, And, America is the biggest patriotic, country I know of. Yeah, it ain't working.
Yeah, I don't want to see our soldiers die. I don't want to see anybody die.
But that's the reason why there's always these skirmishes. Look at the polls. The polls are nothing, honestly. If you had an election tomorrow, it might be, Right, so you might get a different president, but that's not going to happen. You're not got another, he's still in it for another couple of years. And if he stepped down, who's the prime candidate? What time did women's end? I was dying for a sandwich. Please bet one of these one less country each next week. Hey, what? Not left, not right, but in the middle. Hey, what? Okay. Oh, did you mean woman's hour? Oh, right. I'll get you. Okay. So the polls mean nothing, but you know what the Americans are thinking. I see. Right. Okay. Boxer, come on. Oh, so it's pinned. The word and dying genius.
I haven't looked at the polls.
Polls don't mean anything.
Well, to some
Unfortunately. Yeah, to some people, they look at the polls and say, oh, that's gospel. I've seen polls over the years that have predicted X, Y, and Z because people have been disenchanted with their government. Oh, God. And they've got a second term. Hello, Monster. It's easier to have a conversation than it is to sort of like read out in the chat and whatnot.
No, but
So,
you're saying nobody will come out against the war, but you say the polls don't mean anything. So what's your information that denies what the polls are saying?
I'm just a realist and I'll look at the situation. I just put my own take on it.
Well,
And
that's that's your opinion, but all the polls are saying that like 70 to 80% of people disagree with the war, conflict, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And you're saying nobody will speak against it.
No,
Well,
what I'm saying
is overall support for military action. Disapprove range from 53% to 59%. Approval range from 27 to 41%. That's CNN.
Okay. Of how many people asked?
Reuters,
Yeah. How many people were asked to get that figure? That's like turning around and saying, if it was out of 1,000 people, right? That's what these polls are based on, or was it the polls based upon 98% of what people say in the country, and of that, how many people returned the information? You see how polls can be used for and against each other. That's the reason why I don't pay any attention to what polls say, because they don't tell you how many it's out of. So people assume that it is the whole of the country that's saying that.
Well, I don't know what idiot thinks that they are asking 340 million people the question every time.
Well,
you can't get people to vote. You're going to get people to do a regular poll. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're not declaring how many people they've asked.
Actually, they do.
Well, I didn't hear it.
Well, they don't know. They don't say it, but if you look up the information, it'll say like 1,243 people responded or whatever.
Yeah, which is a very small percentage.
Yeah, but
it's like I was trying to say
they're not always correct, but they've been doing this for a long time, and they know how to do it, and they're usually
says
correct.
CNN,
and when you get it,
SSRS, whatever, 1,004 audits, whatever that is.
Right.
February 20th through March 1st.
There'd be
3.9.
responses, yeah.
Okay.
So
Even-
it's what they do is
even-
they take more response, they work out the percentage of that response, and then it's projected as if that's what the nation is saying.
Even the Fox News polls show the majority is against it.
Yeah, Fox News says out of 1,400 registered voters, what's it say? No, it didn't give me a number on that one.
Of course, everyone is against it. I mean, he literally got in on the lie that he was going to end all the wars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, by doing that, he creates World War III.
Yeah. He said he was the only one who could end World War III. Motherfucker's going to start it.
Exactly. I've been saying this for years.
He was going to bring
America
peace to our...
turned up late for the Second World War. They forgot about the first one, and they're going to start the third.
Most people forgot what happened yesterday.
Yeah. That's why the polls don't matter. This will all be fish and chip wrapping paper tomorrow. You know, it's the way of dividing.
AI to take the poll.
All right. Let me say this, and you think the polls don't matter. Why do you think that it went from we went there after their nuclear bombs to we're over there trying to free their people from a tyrannical regime? It's because they saw the polls were not buying what they said at the beginning. So now they're trying to reframe it.
It's all about misdirection and to try and drum up support. It still comes back to why the hell are we getting involved in other people's issues that have nothing to do with us directly? The only common denominator I've found is the oil in the area and who controls that.
Amazingly, at this point, the oil and the billions of dollars Trump and his friends are making is secondary. The primary reason was Epstein.
Yes. So while you're looking over there as what's going on, you're not looking at what is actually going on in the cover-up, which the government of the day is trying to do over the Epstein files. We have the same situation here. While we're talking about this, we're not talking about Epstein. There's been a couple of depositions done which have been televised, and now all of a sudden it's over the Iran war stroke conflict, etc. Right? It's all shifted. The news has shifted across from one to another, so you're no longer talking about it. You know, and all I'm saying is that whatever's going on in Iran is a smokescreen, because what really matters is the Epstein files and the damage that is caused, right, to youngsters, right, over the years, and to cover up who has been involved.
And I'm just telling you that what you're saying, although that might be the aim, it is not working. People are still talking about Epstein. People are not supporting the conflict, war, combat, the killing of other people's kids. It's not working.
Okay, so what's happening in the media, the mainstream? What's the burning topic, the top topic now? It's what's going on in Iran. It's the fact that the FTSE 100 has nosedived this morning, that the price of oil has gone up. It is to stop people talking or to get them transfixed so that their mind is on something else, not on the Epstein files, which has been going on for years. I'm talking about mainstream. They've changed the way that they are delivering, and they're supposed to be giving an unbiased view. And I don't think that's the case, as always. You
The
know,
war is top of the hour, but the Epstein files are still being talked about on all the medias except Fox News.
okay.
Sorry, I booted myself.
Okay. You're blank screen at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you on the intent, what the White House intends. I'm just saying it is not working, and I don't think somebody's opinion. I don't weigh somebody's opinion over the polls, especially when it's 4 or 5 different polls from different angles, all saying the same stuff.
I understand, and as I say, if it was a little bit, if there was more people asked about it instead of it just being selected, I'll say randomly, right? If it was random selection, and if it was, there was 10 times the number of people who were asked about it, it might hold more water with me than it does at the moment. It's, as I was said earlier, 70% of out of the 100% of the people who could have voted in the last general election for this shite government we've got, right, only 30% did actually vote. And out of that, they got the majority, right?
That's a whole different subject.
And it's, no, what I'm saying is, on the polls, it said Labour would win. Labour was going to win long before the election. It was already pre-written, and Starmer was going to be the next prime minister. Mellows and I discussed this years before. In fact, when Starmer came in as a Labour as a Labour Party leader, or the leader of the opposition, we said that he will be the next prime minister, and he was. The polls didn't say that; it was just the way it was. And all I'm saying is, whatever's going on in Iran is just a smokescreen to stop people from looking at what they need to be looking at. But it's an excuse to make it.
I don't know why you keep thinking we disagree on that.
And I think it's the next thing you're going to see is what I sort of like put across is a further attack in the name of patriotism on your rights over in the States. They tried it with immigration, they tried it with ICE, etc. There's been one hell of a backlash that they weren't expecting. So now's another smokescreen going up, etc. And Margaret Thatcher did the best possible thing she could do. She was running low in the polls, and she created a conflict in Argentina with Argentina over the Falklands Isles. Right? Yes, we did technically, and we still do own the Falklands Isles, right? But it won at the next election under the banner of patriotism, right? As the leader of the Conservative Party. And I'm not saying that Trump is going to stand for the next election, but his party could end up still winning the presidential election next time around as a result of what's going on at the moment, because people feel patriotic. And if they don't, that's to me means there's a nice change going on, because people are thinking for themselves as individuals rather than as a collective. It's just you got more people who'll be thinking the same. Personally, I think you've got, Trump should be out and you should have somebody else in power, but that's not going to happen. We've got to live with what we live with. It's the World Economic cost of living, shall we say. But it's not just affecting America, it's affecting every country as a result, because oil prices have suddenly gone up just because there's a conflict in that area. So all your groceries, everything that you need to live off, will be going up in cost as a result. And they're already talking about a potential 3-day week again. The last time that happened was in 1973 due to a war over in the Middle East. But, you know, it could happen. It's close to happening, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep somewhere around 1943 there.
I said 1973, referring to the last time we actually ended up in a.
No, I just mean you're great at these long fucking monologues that talk about everything, but don't stick to the question at hand.
Well, what was the question? Sorry, my apologies.
I hardly even remember anymore. We were talking about whether or not people support it and whether polls are valid, and you're talking about every fucking thing you've been talking about all night. And you go on and on and on, and then you complain if people interrupt. And I know it's your channel, but Jesus, even I don't dominate my channel that much.
Horses for courses.
Let me ask you a question. It's going to sound like it has nothing to do with anything.
Go
Do
on.
you believe in vaccines?
Some, not all.
Why do you believe in them if people tell you that they cause autism, or you got celebrities saying they don't work? Why would you believe in them?
Okay, so if the evidence supports what they're saying, then I would agree with them. If the evidence doesn't support it, then I wouldn't support them.
Where does the evidence come from?
Okay, so when we had the fluoride injections years ago over here, it was proven to cause problems with with unborn babies as a result of mothers being told they've got to have the injection. And they took it, they believed it. Ever since then, I've questioned vaccines.
But the evidence you're talking about, and yeah, and sometimes it's wrong and it's correct and stuff, is medical science.
Well, it would be medical science.
You believe in, what the medical science is saying, but you don't believe in the science of pollsters, and that's a science. It's mathematics.
Well, there is a science of mathematics, yes. But I'm too dumb to understand it, probably.
Anyway, that was fun. I just got a message. I gotta go. But thanks for having me up and arguing with me. It's always fun to do
I
that.
don't argue with anybody.
Hey, change that damn picture, bro. That's just freaking me out the way you're staring at me. I was looking at it, I was like, is he blinking or is that just a picture? That thing is scary.
For some reason, I couldn't find my gesture.
No, it's your picture there, man. You're eyeballing me like seriously, bro.
I said I couldn't find my gesture.
Oh, okay.
Would you please borrow Grimm's hearing aid?
Pardon?
Yes, we'll do.
Hey, Mama.
Mama Bear, what have we got in here?
I'll see you guys later. Thanks.
All right, man.
See you later, Buckster.
See you later, Buckster.
I got to tell you this. After Earl just said that, I waved goodbye and I looked at my picture and thought, why isn't my picture waving?
Oh, funny guy. See you later. March the 4th, 2026, the House Oversight Committee voted 24 to 19 to subpoena Attorney General Pan Bondi regarding Department of Justice handling of investigation and compliance with laws requiring release of document. Presumably you're referring to the Epstein files and with that. Isn't she the one who refused to turn up? I know there's somebody who was subpoenaed and he refused to turn up to it. But I did watch the Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton Gerard. And I did think it was amusing when Hillary Clinton was asked, why is it that you requested this to be televised? And she said, in the interest of transparency. I think there's a joke there somewhere.
Funny.
No, I found it interesting and funny at the same time.
Yeah. That was the Clintons, but they did. What they did, it was transparent. I thought Bill Clinton was a little bit more genuine when he turned around and said, I truly don't remember.
I did not have sexual... Oh yeah, I did.
Wrong one, but yeah, he denied that one. Monica Staines. Allegedly. Right. Okay. We've gone for nearly 3 hours. We've covered so many different subjects, and we've probably annoyed quite a few more people. And strictly, if you're still listening, all I wanted was to be able to hear you and have a conversation rather than the shouting match. I know you can do it. But yeah, noted, you are against what's going on in Iran. You know?
Anyone normal would be. It's kind of the obvious thing to...
I'm against it. I'm against what Israel have been doing full stop over Palestine and with Iran and everywhere else.
Anybody who wants to try and justify what's going on right now is not only delusional, right? Is off their fucking head, right? And they need to get off whatever it is they're on, right? Because it's not good for them. It's not good for anyone.
You want to tell that to President Trump?
President Trump needs something else.
That was it. I don't recall. That was it. That was it.
Hopefully we don't get him more shit. They did ship off my neighbor's kid. He's like 19 years old. He's a Marine. So hopefully he'll be okay. He'll get back safe.
Well, I'm hoping. I mean, as I say, this is the issue I've got with sending people over who are serving soldiers, etc., and they're being ordered to go to somewhere that's got nothing to do with them.
Keir Starmer sent 4 golf carts and a packet of crisps.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Personally, I'd have sent over a couple of lagers and a couple of packets of crisps. I mean, that would have made more sense, you know. But right, I hope that there is a peaceful solution. I hope nobody else in this conflict that's going on at the moment becomes collateral damage in any way, shape, or form. But you know what? What's the betting is another bombing raid tonight.
It's non-stop now. It's non-stop. It hasn't stopped. It won't stop.
And with any conflict, any war, the only people who make money are those who are producing the weapons. Because it's not the weapons that kill people, it's the people who are giving the orders.
There you go.
At the end of the day. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Don't forget, if you want to see the rest of that footage from Levi Turnbull, please go over to his channel The link was put in the chat some time ago, but it's also in the description. The last hour is actually quite amusing, and I don't really want to give the game away, but you'll enjoy it. Okay. Any final thoughts?
Just God be with you all, I think.
May your God be with you. I like that one.
Have a good night, everybody. A good day or whatever it is where you're at.
See you on
I
the
just
next
want to say peace, and we'll be back in a few days. We might do this all over again, or we might do something totally different. In the meantime, take care, folks, and thanks everybody for supporting Mama Bear over on her channel as well. If you haven't done already, nip over and hit the like button for her. Thank you very much. Take care now.